What bad could come from opening the auction house? Anything bad? Are there any cons? Buying gold. I mean, people will buy gold if the auction house opens. That's going to happen no matter what. Could make all of your past accomplishments be lesser. I don't think it does because we did it. We did it without it. The only actual problem will be people buying gear. I think that's the solution. Even if people buy gold, do not let them buy gear. You'd have to have someone that monitors everything that's bought off the auction house. If our add-on can track it, you just ban people that buy gold. I mean, you ban people that buy gear. This is why I wanted to talk about this. Someone like T1 can list a crappy G for 500G and some viewer will buy it. I think it's totally fine. See, the problem is that Tyler would have to go and farm all the gold himself to buy the consumes, or the people could just give it to him. You should never cater the guild towards the 1% because that guy can get everything for free anyway. We're trying to make the guild better for the entire guild, the average guy. I think the guild should have a designated auction house person that sells stuff for people, sends to them, then purchases all the consumes for raid. Jim Techie, that's a 24/7 job that someone's not getting paid for. Do you know how long it takes to trade stuff to that guy? Then he lists it on the auction house for you. Then he keeps track of 800 people in this guild. That is the dumbest idea. It just won't work. It won't work. Pay me and I'll do it. Yeah, see? Exactly. You're asking to be paid because you should be paid for that job and we ain't paying for it. That is ridiculous. At this point, guys, I think we should just open the game to how it's supposed to be played and block people from buying BOEs. You're saying Fangsley can be the auction house monitors for OnlyFangs? I mean, what are you suggesting? Like, tell me the full suggestion so I can consider it. Like, what exactly would Fangsley do to help OnlyFangs achieve whatever goal that you're suggesting? Let Lakari do it? No, he ain't doing that. Lakari is pretty much done with WoW as it is. I don't think auction house is taking anything away from the game. If you do think that it is, then just ban buying gear. Our add-on already tracks what people are buying off the auction house and selling, so it's very easy to track. You don't need a third party to manage it. We have it already implemented in the add-on. If you buy gear, then you're out of the guild. If you really want to make that a rule. It's that easy. Just my 2 cents on Soda talking about opening the auction house so we can sell herbs and such. The people struggling with stuff right now are the same people not doing dungeons, not helping others, and not playing the game. I feel like all opening the auction house will do is allow for people to start buying gold, not selling stuff, because people who don't have money right now also don't have stuff to sell. The auction house being banned has been such a different experience, both frustrating but also rewarding. I don't like the idea of unlocking it personally. If auction house opens, fishing becomes near worthless, kind of sad for me. Yeah, also means that people are going to get ready again with BOEs and other stuff instead of helping the guild. The no auction house really promotes actually working together and helping each other out. Okay, so that wouldn't be a valid argument. The other two kind of still valid, but what's the compromise? What's the compromise? The compromise is what I'm suggesting. Raid consumes are why people call MMO a full-time job. It's very hard to do for anyone. Exactly. Part of me sympathizes with the cooperation. Other part of me thinks that consumes in SSF are a bitch to get weekly, and no amount of cooperation is going to fix that at this point. Consume costs would greatly reduce if every trash pack did not take 20 minutes. I think if there's a way to only whitelist receiving gold in the mail from auction house, it's a little better, but there's the getting 300G for a nightcrawler because a viewer bought your auction house post. Once raids take less than 5 hours, it helps. From now on until the foreseeable future, you will need 2 Titans Flash to stay alive, and GFPPs are required. That's nearly 200G. 150 to 200G consumes is basically perma. You're grossly overestimating the cost of things, especially when it takes 30 minutes or less to get 10 to 15 elemental fires that any class can farm. I'm not though. Flash are 80G, which is 160G alone. Today flash are 53. The price fluctuates. Don't buy when it's a shitty price. He's still right. I mean, you need, if you're buying 4 hours of consumes, you need 4 giants, 4 mongoose, 4 defense, 4 fortitudes, like 15 faps if you're a tank. If you're trying to buy like fire waters, you buy those. 2 titan flasks. Then you need food, beer, and then yeah, so like that around 150 to 200G a raid is probably accurate. 20 GFPPs. I mean, yeah, it's farmable. Takes 5 to 6 hours per week. On the worst farm classes, 10 hours per week if they grind great items like mindless drone farming. So Zeroji is saying that with 10 hours of farming, you can raid per week. Okay, that 10 hours I would rather spend leveling an alt, but you will have to log in and farm a certain amount of gold. But the thing is, like, you could get, at least if I looted like a rare BOE or something, I could sell it for like 100 gold and be like, yes, I got my consumes for the week. Or I could farm, yeah, I could farm pearls or something like that from Strat Live. It's not a 100%, it's a 100% not an insane farm. The auction house is very abusable once open, but people will quit over 150 G a week. Pocket is spitting facts here for sure. The auction house is a normal part of the game, but we also know people in this guild won't be using it the normal way. But let's be honest, no one is going to give anyone the fair thanks or shout out for farming herbs for the guild. So holding out a reward for struggling to help also isn't worth. First raid, 40 people stood in line, got traded bags full of consumes without even blinking. No one was thinking about what it took to provide them. I think people would be surprised when they actually try to go farm the mats themselves, how easily it is. I brought a few lotus from some guildmates. I bought a few lotus from some guildmates and then farmed the eels and groms in no time. I farmed the groms for 2 flasks, 100%. I'd prefer to do anything else for gold and just buy it. It was like 4 hours for 60. I don't know what you're doing wrong with Grom's blood, but I park my guy in Desolate, log out every 10 minutes or so while I'm doing other stuff. I have my Grom's blood. I mean, these guys are saying things that like people in the guild are not going to do. People are not going to farm their own stuff. It's just not happening. I mean, people will farm gold. Not to mention we have trade. So if you hate farming groms and finding something else of value in trade, fair. I could be bad at farming, but 60 for 2 flasks times 120. Not trying to be egotistical about this. I'm just trying to say that there's so much easier, cheaper, less stressful ways to get raid ready every week. I think the auction house should be opened. You can sell anything. You can only buy raid consumes. It's a compromise. Meeting in the middle, most important thing when people are split on a decision. I mean, even if guys, even if the auction house is open, but you can only buy consumes, you still have to get gold. Like, you still have to go and farm gold to be able to buy them. If people want to risk their accounts and break World of Warcraft TOS, I mean, that's not on us. That's not on Soda or whatever. Like, you can't have gold traded to you. You still have to log in and earn it. You can't buy gold. I mean, yeah, I guess you could abuse it. I mean, you can abuse it if you want, essentially. Yes, I mean, people can get free gold. But I don't know how many people will do that. I don't think like a lot of people won't be able to do that. So banning it because of one guy is not a good way of thinking about it. Like, I mean, who cares if you're rich? Like, who cares if you get rich in the game and you can't do anything with the gold, but just buy the consumes for raid. Let's see. And there is a chance the consumes that you want won't be available too. You're right. I didn't even think about that, Shadowcat. 100% true. Long-term sustainability is a huge problem. I agree. Open for 60s only? Yeah. It's raid consumes. 60s only. I don't really think that opening the auction house for selling only breaks anything in the guild. People will have more money, but if they can only buy the consumes that they need to raid, all that does is take out boring farming stuff that people don't want to stream. Essentially, we're just trying to not break the culture of the guild without killing people's streams. And that's the best compromise I can think of. Sell a BOE for 1k gold? Totally fine. Totally fine. 100% fine. Guys, it is 100% fine for people to have a bunch of gold that they can't do anything with. Doesn't matter. Red Cloud says, I think it's a good idea.